So since this is the first video in 2018, I'd like to start by wishing all of you a very happy new year. I wish each and every day in this year is better than the previous day for all of you. Now, I know the results are out and there are mixed feelings about the results. So some of you got through, some of you couldn't get through, some of you partly got through by getting exemptions or, passing by either of the groups in IPCC final or CPT, any of the examinations. So it's okay. The only thing which I have to tell you guys is, for the ones who got through, what next? And for the ones who couldn't, again the same question, what next? So the ones who got through, a big congratulations to all of you. And for the ones who couldn't, it's okay. Success is just delayed, it's not denied. So I'd like to give a few pointers for the ones who could not get through. Hey everyone, I am so happy to see all of you online. So let's start off for the ones who couldn't get through. First thing is, you need to follow a few pointers right now. The first thing is, take the subjects which you could not get through. Just take the question papers, your attempt question papers, and then try to attempt the answers for those questions. Now compare these solutions to the suggested solutions which are provided by the institute. Now keep it aside, just keep it aside. Now there will be a window which will be open for revaluation or for recorrection, or there will also be a window which will be open where you can apply and get your answer sheets, the evaluated sheets. So wait for that time. Till then you can definitely keep these workings aside. Now apart from that, what I would like to suggest is, most of us think we have prepared well, and I'm sure we would have prepared well, but in examination situations it's really very difficult to answer it the way you want to, because of the stress, the pressure, the time pressure, sleepless nights, etc. So all of you need a writing practice, including people who've got through one of the groups. I think, again, with better practice of writing the examinations, I think you can also secure a rank. So for that, I strongly suggest you all to take up a lot of tests. So for the people who are going to re-attempt the groups or the papers which you have already prepared for, instead of again rereading the entire material, the practice manual, and practicing again and again, I suggest you go in for tests. Surprise yourself. Now there are two things. First thing is, you test yourself by taking any of the past question papers, you answer them and everything else. But for the people who want an external pressure to come on you for you to write tests, then there are a lot of academies which conduct these mock tests and test series, etc. I specifically suggest Premier Academy, the academy where I go to. So Premier Academy is an academy in Chennai, as all of you know. I will be posting the details of Premier Academy in the description box below, and they have one of the best set of professors ever, so you can attend the classes there. But apart from that, for the test series, they have a module called test series, where each and every subject of all the levels of CA, like for CPT, inter and final, they actually have split the entire syllabus into 4 categories, which is 25%, 25%, 25%, 25%. And then what they do is, they give you the portions for that. So they have a schedule, basically. Say for example, if you are a final student, they have split the entire syllabus into group 1, group 2, as it's split by the institute themselves. Each subject is segregated into parts of 25%. And they have 4 tests as such, and the final test is a 100% syllabus test. The syllabus is told to you, the question papers are set by them. It is set by the evaluators of the institute themselves, who also have who also are a part of Premier Academy, a few of them. So what you can do is you can select which subject you want to take the test for. You can pay for it accordingly. It's 500 rupees per subject, and per subject has 5 examinations. You can write the exam, the test at your convenience, anywhere you want. If you want to go and write it in the institute, you could do that. Else they also have a postal facility where they mail the question paper to you. You can answer those questions in that particular time, say 1.5 hours for 50 marks or something, and then you can send it back to them. Within a week they get back to you with the suggested answers, with their evaluations on your paper, etc. So this will sort of push you to read and to write it in the right way, and basically to motivate you to start all over again. Now I know it is a little sort of saddening, where you would have put a lot of your effort but you still didn't get through. But hey, that's okay. Sitting and just feeling sad about it will not do anything. I suggest you pull your socks up, push yourself, and go for such tests, go for such examinations, and you will be surprised to know that few things which you thought you remember or which you thought you understood are not really understood by you. So they also have a facility where you can talk to the professors themselves who are pros in their own subjects, and you can get your doubts clarified either over phone or email or in person. And yeah, so I sincerely suggest you go for those tests, or any other academy which holds test series, mock tests, etc. Now don't wait for the last moment test results, etc. Like say for example, if you're planning to attempt in May, don't wait for April to give in your examinations or mock tests, etc. because that's not going to really help you. To start off with, you can start with the tests, and then you can see where you lack, and then start preparing accordingly. Because as you all know, CA examinations are pretty much a surprise, and let it be a surprise instead of a shocker. So yeah, this is what I have to say. Now I am going to read some of your comments to answer to you. Okay. So Amir Khan, he says he's secured 142 marks in Group 2. I do not know if it's final or for IPCC. So do you think it will increase by revaluation? Now a lot of them do apply for revaluation, but not a lot of them get. The difference between the revalued papers and the original ones are not. It's not by a very huge margin that they get reevaluated, but yes, there is a scope for reevaluation. If you think you just lost on the average marks, and by the reevaluation you can get through, go for it. Just go for it. What if it clicks? So you'll just be done with that group. Just be optimistic and positive by that. Now I'll just see the next the other questions. How to start preparing for CA Final, Aman Agarwal. So it depends on which group you want to go for first. I suggest you go in for both the groups together, because a lot of things are related, and once you're done with the intermediate, a lot of things, in fact most of the subjects, are related to what you learned in your IPCC. So final is actually very interesting because the base is already built. So in final, you can select the subjects you want to start off first for your coaching class, and you can select some of the subjects like theory ones. If you're strong at theory, you can do them all by yourself. So like I suggest you start off with ISCA, because that definitely takes a little time if you're following the old syllabus. So you can start off with easier topics or easier chapters that way. And example, like one or two of you have asked, what do I do for law? Now, what I did for law, I'll tell you that. Law is an ocean in itself. So, reading chapter by chapter from study material was a little like burdening for me. So what I did is I just took the practice manual, I flipped through. I found the first 2-3 chapters really simple. So I read through it. I knew how many people should be signing the annual report, etc. So it's pretty much interesting. So you can start off like that, and once you're okay with the subject, you can go for the study material. So I literally use the reverse mechanism. That works for me. Now you should tell me how it works for you. Aman Agarwal, you've cleared both the groups in IPCC. Amazing, congratulations. You also asked who is the best teacher for AMA and SFM for CA Final. Now, if you are in Chennai, for AMA, I suggest you go to Premier Academy. There you have the best teacher for AMA. Even I go there. So Hariharan Sir is awesome in AMA. For SFM, I suggest CA Tarun Jagdish Sir. So he takes crash course at Premier Academy Chennai. You can also buy their video lectures, so you can call up at the academy. So yeah, you'll know more about it. Next questions. Can you please tell how to prepare cost accounting properly? Chetan Gupta. Now, cost accounting, I'm assuming you're talking about your IPCC. Again, I suggest you, all of you who are struggling with AMA, I strongly suggest you come to Premier Academy Chennai or buy the video lectures of Hariharan Sir. It's not that I have a tie with that academy. I am extremely impressed by the way I used to be a person who used to literally hate costing, and now I'm in love with the subject. It's amazing, and the way he teaches you is out of the world. It's amazing. So attend a crash course. It's gonna start in March. It's a 14-day crash course. So you can call up at the academy. I'll provide the details in the description box below. So just give a call, and you can probably just tell them my name and they'll know from where the sources come. So yeah, you can come there and I'll get to meet you there as well. Agarwal Darpan, you want me to tell you how to restart studying for IPCC? Go for test series. Really, go for test series. You'll know where you lack, and then you will know how to continue. Rajarshi Bose, have joined the session late. What is the agenda of discussion? Well, I'm just talking about how to proceed post results. So that's what is going on. You can see the video again once I'm done with the live video. Diana Jacob says, can you please tell me important topics for costing and FM? Now I'll make a separate video on that, but for now, for costing, start off with marginal, standard and process costing. These three. In FM, you start off with the capital budgeting chapter. These chapters have the major crux in them, so you can start off with that. I have made other 2 videos which are already on my channel saying how to start off with IPCC Group 1 and Group 2. So I've given you a few topics. So start off with them and then you will find your way. Now, Ankit Parmar, how to prepare for auditing. Again, I've already made a video on that, which is on my channel. I suggest you start off with the auditing standards, learn the numbers, learn the headings, and then you go in with each and every standard. You have to know the keywords of it. So once you're done with all the standards, the entire SM and PM is taken care of, and you will understand it really, really well. Go for it. Okay. What are the changes in each of the subjects like accounts, law, taxation, cost, FM, who are registered under old syllabus? Please make a detailed video on it. Sure, I will make a detailed video on that. Alpesh Rahane asks me, will GST self-study help me to get through in May 2018, or shall I join classes? Now see, GST in terms of tax, I suggest you at least join revision classes, because GST is a different animal in itself, and it's good if you get it right, because that's what is going to be useful for you in practical scenario as well. Virat Arora, please tell me about the auditing subject. I want to clear in the next attempt. You will please watch the auditing video which I made already. That will really help you in remembering the auditing standards. And once you're through the standards, auditing is a cakewalk. For the subject, I strongly suggest you to get Mr. Munish Bhandari's book for law. Sorry, that's for law. Munish Bhandari's book is for law, and Surbhi Bansal's book is for the subject of auditing. And if you want a lot of mnemonics, then buy the book from CA Vikas Oswal Sir. He also takes at Premier Academy. He is going to start off his classes at Premier Academy. So they are the gurus. So you can definitely go for their books and you will get through the subject. All these subjects, it's really important to understand the crux of it. And you need to empathize meaning when they talk about, what should a company do if they think that there is insider trading going on, etc. You need to really feel you have a company, and what will you do, what are you supposed to do according to the laws of the country if such thing happens. So that's what is given in your book. It's nothing rocket science. The problem is we actually take theory for theory. We learn theory because that's what has to be used in practical. So yeah. Costing FM, again, you need help, Bhageshri. I suggest you come to Premier Academy Chennai if you're in Chennai, or buy the video lectures of Hariharan Sir. I will also, if you have any specific questions, I'm definitely there to help you with it. I'll guide you through Costing FM. It's an amazing subject. I love it. So I'll help you for that. Now, Amir Khan says, any suggestions regarding choosing the firm for articleship? Now, firms, I divide them into two groups, which is your big fours and the others which are not. Now, I suggest you enter into a mid-size or small-size firm, because there you will be able to do pin-to-poster work, which will really give you exposure about how to do what. Big fours are also good, very good exposure, but you can always head into it once you're qualified. So I do not know which location you are in, so I cannot talk more about specifically which firm to go for. How to revise the IPCC law, Mukesh? IPCC law, go for Munish Bhandari sir's book. Everything is so crisp in that. How do you revise? I've again made videos on that. I'll probably post. You can go through my channel for the videos on that. I've made a video on how to prepare for IPCC Group 1. In that, I've spoken about law as well. Just follow that, and you'll completely be fine with law. How to prepare for advanced accounts. Again, for accounting subjects, it's always good to go for accounting standards first. So it's very, very important to understand accounting standards, and there are few topics which are common in accounts 1 and accounts 2. So those are amalgamation, internal reconstruction, etc. So these are the topics you really need to get your grip on, because that also follows in final. So you really can't accept it. Now, Hardeep Singh asks me about one of my favorite subjects, which is ITSM. I don't know why a lot of you hate it. I love it. Okay, so in ITSM, the main thing is you need to first split both the subjects and read. SM is more of, just understanding the theory part of it. It's more about those grids. It's about the BCG matrix, etc. In the IT part of it, the chapter 3 I found is very huge. So the mistake I did was I started off with chapter 3 before the examinations, and I really got stuck with it. The best part for, the best way to study for IT is to go through the practice manual for short questions, because you have 2 mark questions, like about 10 to 12 of them asked in the examination. First, you go through those 2 mark questions from the practice manual, so you get more confident with it. And once you do that, then you can go for the other topics, like cloud computing is one very emerging topic, so you have to know what is cloud computing, etc. Ravi Jyoti asks, is institute book enough for IPCC preparation? It is, but the reason why I suggest other materials is that it's easier to follow that way if you're doing a self-study. Like for me, for IPCC and for final, I did self-study for a lot of subjects. Like most of the theory subjects, it was a self-study for me, and I like it that way, literally. So for them, I went through the institute material, yes, but more than that, I went through the suggested books, which I spoke about in one of the videos, which is best books to follow. Being FCA asks me, can we score 70 plus in advanced accounts without classes? Now that depends on how proficient you are in accounts. If you ask me, I personally had to go for accounts class, and without that it would have been very difficult for me to score well in accounts. So if you're very confident, I suggest you at least attend a crash course for advanced accounts, because there are a lot of pointers which you might not be able to understand just from the textbook. So it's better when a professional tells you those pointers, and 70 plus is an amazing score. You can actually aim for a rank there. Ayush, why do we get less in the auditing paper? the first reason why we get less in auditing paper is because we fail to we fail to quote the essay numbers, we fail to write the keywords there, and that's the only reason why I ask all of you to start off with learning the essay numbers and to write the headings properly and to also write the keywords properly in them. Auditing is an amazingly interesting paper, but if the answers are not written right, even if you meant the right answer but you did not mention those particular words, you might actually miss out on it. That's the problem with all the theory papers, and that's why you use memory tricks like the chart technique, etc. I've already made videos on that as well, so you can go through them, choose the memory tricks, know that you need to know the right word. Example, you need to write sufficient appropriate audit evidence instead of telling the right audit evidence. There's a difference between these two. You need to use the word sufficient appropriate audit evidence, material misstatement, etc., because these are the words which are given by the law itself, that you need to mention these words in your report, etc. So yeah, if we are not sure about the keywords and if we don't mention the keywords, then we score less. For auditing, is PM sufficient? I don't suggest just PM for any subject. You need to know the SM and the PM because base is very important. Next is both the groups cleared. Singla Jatin, amazing, congratulations Singla Jatin. Okay, I'm getting a lot of questions for audit. I think I'll make a separate video on that because this video is going very, very long, and I want to really answer to all of your questions properly. So I'll take the last question from Mukesh. So Mukesh Vishwakarma asks me, for group 2, I would do classes for advanced accounts and FM. Would that be okay? Rest of the subjects I would do on my own. Okay, so you want to go for classes for advanced accounts and costing FM? Yeah, absolutely. In fact, you can go for classes for accounts as well. So accounts 1, accounts 2, taxation, costing FM. These 4 you can attend classes. The theory I think you can manage by your own self. Bhageshri Pawar, I'm sorry, I think I missed your question. I'll go back to read. What did you ask? You asked me what am I doing, job or practice? Well, you will know that in other few things. I am in my CA final level basically, and I'm trying to help everyone else get through it. When to start CA final classes? Now that depends on when is your attempt. Mr. Amir Khan? So say for example, if your attempt is in November this year, then you will have to start immediately because you don't have the time at all. If it is in 2020, then in that case you can go in for subjects which don't undergo a lot of changes, like costing or AMA. Sorry, AMA does not go in for changes. ISCA is a subject which does not have a lot of changes. I suggest taxation, you do it just 6 months prior to your attempt. So yeah, that's the answer. Hopefully I've answered to all your questions. Being FCA again, okay, I'll take this as the last question. If we study PM, SM, RGP, scanner, compilation, is it good to grab 60 plus? Oh my god, it is good to grab a rank. Trust me, and I really wish all of you all the best, and for the May attempt, for November attempt, for all the other attempts, I'll try my best to answer to your questions. I'm sorry I was on a few projects for some time now, so I'll try to be in touch with all of you going forward. If there are any specific questions, please let me know. I'm trying to get expert help as well on specific questions which I might not be able to answer. So thank you so much. It was amazing talking to you and coming live on the first video of 2018. So bye, all the best, take care, and remember, love for studies. Be optimistic. Bye.